Greetings, it's Grandmaster Amara coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya. This is a follow-up video of the previous video that I just did last night. This video is not for everyone. This video is based on a simple attempt. I'm going to do another one uh, eventually that's in depth, but I just wanted to come on here because people in the Facebook group and some in the channel are talking about asking me questions about the money. How can I survive when I put in the money here? And what money? You're trying to get an understanding of how the money, how you can survive financially. And so I wanted the first thing come on here and tell you it's not all about the money. When you move to Africa, you can come with $1 million. You can come with any kind of money. You that money. Just ask Evander Holyfield, ask Mike Tyson. You can blow money. Now those guys that were financially ignorant in the United States, but if you come into Africa and you don't understand how the economy works in Africa, you'll be financially. You'll be ignorant of how financially Kenya works and operates. You'll be financially ignorant of how the money works in Kenya. This place, like any African country, has people who make their living off of people who come here with a lot of money. And you can't really recognize them. Now, we have a very big problem with trust in the Black community. My God, it's terrible. Long since the day you've been screwed over, and then you turn around and you say, I'm not going to trust anybody. You know what I'm saying? So you don't tell people what your financial situation is. You don't look for actual help for in financial things, and you're just out there trying to survive because there's not enough hours in the day. And financial literacy is no joke. It take like a college course. You see? So here we are, we're Black American. We have a screwed up family, and we have to try to redo that. We have screwed up our credit. We have to now redo that. And then on top of that, you find that the place is having all these problems. And so you come to see like there's something that is helping oppress me. You can't seem like you get a really good break. And if you do get a financial break where you get some good cash, before you know it, the money's gone because we're not financially educated in how to deal with money. So you want to take your financially uneducated self and then come all the way over to Africa. And I'm going to explain to you about the exchange rate, and then you're going to see like that's the boost I need. No, the boost you need is in here. Whether you have thousands of dollars saved up or whether you only have a few $2,000 saved up, you can make it. You can make the transition. But you got to understand people, and you must understand Kenyans. Now, when I wrote my book, Black Man's Guide to Moving to Modern Africa, inside the book, I mentioned about get you Kenyan if you're using Kenya. If you're going to Ghana, then Ghana. But you're going to Nigeria. But I'm saying, hey, get you some Kenyan friends. Get you some African friends in the country that you are going to adopt. First, you got to adopt the country. That's the first thing. You can't just say, I'm going to go to Ghana, I'm going to go to here, I'm going to go to there. No, you got to really get into the investment, then adopt the country. Now, how do you adopt the country? Do you just pick that country and choose, okay, I'm going to come to that country? No. It's about the people. You must have friends in that country, somebody that you can basically trust. So therefore, you got to expose your plan to them. Now, this is going to be difficult because you're seeing that task from an American point of view. I ain't gonna let no brother Negro know all my secrets. No way, Well, this is a mistake. You must get out and sell yourself and get out and trust a Kenyan. Now, I was talking to somebody online and it was just making me come to the point. You know, this person is saying that they have a lot saved up, ready for the trip to come to Africa, but they're not that good in business. What are they going to do? Invest in a person that can do business. You invested in, I'm using Kenya as an example, but you guys know what I mean. You can in any country. You find that individual who you can trust to do business with you. Now, you don't give him access to your bank account. No, you got the money. He got the expertise. And there's too many Kenyan men out there that want to do business, have the capital. And one of the reasons why I tell you I love Kenya, and because the people are very trustworthy. Not like in Nigeria, not like in Ghana. The people there, you. I'm not the only one that says it. They're scammers. They're waiting for you to come out there, and they got all kind of ways that they try to get you in trick. But Kenyans are not like that. They're very hardworking. They still have a lot of Christian values, a lot of Islamic values that make them. It's impossible for them to steal and create that kind of havoc. So this is a beautiful location for getting the right type of people that can support you. Now, do I mean you go in the street and you just find some poor begging in Kenya? No. You go around, you start going, you go out to parties or whatever, you meet people, you tell them what you're about, ask them, do they have some, you got to close the deal. You got to tell you go out and you meet some Kenyans and you have talking with them and you tell them, look, this is my mission in Kenya. I'm gonna do A, B, C, D. You're at the bar, you're drinking, and you're saying, yeah. I know some people. Somebody got some business ideas. Oh man, hook me up. When can I meet them? Give me their phone number. Then you call them. That's your job. You got all this money behind you. What you gonna do? Just spend it at the bar? No, go to the bar. That's where most businesses are being done. Most business decisions are being done in bars. Now, I don't drink, but I damn sure know that that's where if I have to go, somebody call me to do some talk and just have some fun, I'm going to go and I'm going to have some business deals inside that meeting some kind of way. And yeah, I'll take a drink. Nobody was more, I never drank when I was in the U.S., but, I knew when I came here, I've been hard to survive, do business. You got to be able to go out and be sociable with the people. That is the African way. If you socialize with them, then that's when the business opportunities come. If you're coming with thousands of dollars, do it, but don't overdo it. Don't go to the bar, get fucking drunk and then be passing out on the table. They give you a few women and then there you are. The next day you want to marry her. That's irresponsible. But you have to see that this is how things are done, not only in Africa, but even in their Asian countries. It's the same process. They don't do business. Come to the down. Let's sit down at the table and talk. That's considered rude in Africa. You could go, you socialize, you talk for like 2 hours, talk about how your family, how your life. Then only then when they can know you a little better, then you can slip in a little bit of information about business, and then you meet next week or the next 2 days, and then you continue. It's a slow process. But you got time if you got some $1,000, and then all of a sudden somebody's going to look at you and say, hey, I like this guy. Let me give him a deal. There's a man here that's got a concrete business, and he's building an apartment, but he ran out of money. Here's his number. Now the man is building like Kenyan is building a 10-story apartment building, ran out of money. You partner with him, build it up, and say when it's paid. Now that's a deal. You get what I'm saying? Because somebody hooked you up. But if you come there talking nonsense, or you the authority, or because you're an American, you the bad guy, they're gonna look at you, they're gonna treat you nicely, but they ain't gonna do business with you. And then somebody gonna come in and take your money. They're gonna tell you some fake deal, and then they're gonna laugh at you because you don't know how to be humble. So be humble. Don't be afraid to explain to people what your mission is. Socialize first. Make a plan. If you're gonna stay here for 3 months, that's your business. That's the plan. Now the other section part of it is And I know this is even harder. You got money, but you're scared. You don't have nobody. You don't know nobody, and you don't trust nobody. You're gonna have to learn to trust. Also, I don't know if it's in my, it's not in my book, but many times I have wrote this out, this point out. Now we have a perfect channel here because we only talking about one thing, basically moving to modern Africa. So when you come here, don't come like the Lone Ranger. Even the Lone Ranger had Tonto, and he surely couldn't have got around without Tonto. See what I'm saying? So don't joke that. Let me see. Amen. Peace, brother. How are you? Long as there's Wi-Fi, I can make money. You can make big money in Wi-Fi if you got Wi-Fi. Everything you get out of the U.S., you can look at this little bitty channel I'm doing. I'm just here. I ask for a little bit of support once in a while, and it makes money. And if I sat here and had the time to be serious and do this show right with all kind of drawings and interviews and all that like that, because I'm living in Kenya and I can take advantage of the exchange rate. African Day. Is that Phil? Phil, what's up? Is your WhatsApp number? Is the number sent? Is your the WhatsApp number? The WhatsApp number. The WhatsApp number is the same number always. This is the name. Here is the world.com. Yeah. Now you see Phil Scott from the advice show. He's a businessman. He's like me. He's a businessman, and if he's gonna say that I'm, Phil, for example, Phil. Okay, I don't know Phil, well, but I look at Phil. I say, okay, Phil got money. He comfortable. He not at the. He told me he's not at the low end. He at the high end, and he want to do high things. Okay, that's fine. But if you can have all the high money, and Phil Scott can agree, you can have all the money, but if you ain't got the connections, if you don't have the connections, then damn. So it ain't that expensive to get the proper connection. To meet the right people should be your business model. So yeah, I know, and I can understand Phil's point, and many guys like that. They want they want high end living. They move into those high end areas, and then they start associating with the high end people. Like me, I deal with some people. I don't really deal with a lot of high end people. I deal with the middle end, middle people, and they say, "I mean, where you live?" And I say, "I live in Bamburi in Tupanga." Are you okay, or is it dangerous? Now that's what a high end person would be looking at. He would say, "Okay, this brother obviously don't have money. If he's in Tupanga." he don't have big money. He's in Tupanga, but they don't know my financial situation, and I'm doing it because it's a mix. I'm comfortable. You see, I can come here and spend time with this show because I ain't running around looking for rent money. Because my money is very low. I can go around and now my friend called me and said, "Man, let's meet." I can go because I ain't had to be like, "Oh man, I gotta hustle because I gotta pay this 60,000 rent bill and I don't have that problem. So. That's just me, as I have said before. I don't even own a major credit card. I said, "Oh, you're back, good, but let there be light, my brother. Nothing like the light from Mother Nature." Oh, you want me to open this window? The sun is too bright. The sun is too bright. So if I open that window, I would imagine what would happen to the signal. Stay tuned. Maybe I'll go and open the window and let you guys look outside on a Monday morning and see what's happening in Kenya. Listen, so after 21 years of living here, I know the game. Okay, I know the game, and I'm not an expert at the game ain't easy. I'm not really like 100% expert, but I can laugh when I see how people are. So it's like a chess game. I try to say 3 or 4 moves ahead. Sometimes you got people that that's your friends, but then you have a disagreement with them business wise, and you got to deal with that. Now, how do you deal with it? Do you deal with it like if you're in America? You come up with your Glock, motherfucker. Where my money? I'm gonna tell you. You see my gun? Okay, I want my money by Tuesday. Because you didn't watch too many goddamn movies. That's not the African way. Okay? The African way is simply to be patient, talk to them slowly, sit down with them, listen to their story. They're gonna give you a story, and then you have to kind of just deal with it. But it's not like I need my money immediately. You should not put yourself in that position in the first place. So, I gotta hide that one from anonymous. Ooh, where is my mediators? Huh? Wait a minute. Somebody. Well, what do you know? Phil Scott has donated, supported to this channel. Thank you, brother. Wow, I'm honored that the diaspora shows like that. But you have to do that. And Phil can remember when I had told him, I don't have like the money for Phil. Phil saying he got big money, so I don't have. I mean, I'm embarrassing. I feel embarrassed. I get feel like here's a 1,000 chilies. He look at me like, man, what's that? But I told him, anything you want in Kenya, anything I can do to support you, you just call me, and I'm gonna help you. So now that's the most important value I can give. Oh, the line just cut down because people are sending support. So, okay, the line, we're getting that message. Okay, now it's off. I think because somebody sent something on the phone, that's why the phone. I gotta get another phone on top of a booster. But yeah, and I don't know if he understands that. I don't know if he understands, but you said that's the most important thing. I can take my 21 years of experience in business and dealing with things in Kenya is at his disposal, and it is at your disposal. The people that are coming here, but we got to have trust. So the other point I was making about before I got distracted was that, and we can use this channel. You get together with 5 guys or 4 guys or 6 guys, not more than that, because then it gets wild. And all of you come together, black people, you brothers and women, and you sit down and you say, we all want to go to Africa. You all had the same mindset. You all want to go. Okay? And then you guys sit down and write out a plan together and say, look, we're going to support 2 of you to go to Kenya and survey the land and like that. Everybody puts in like $100 a month. They pledge, I'm going to put $100 a month or 2, because the exchange rate is going to make you okay. And these 2 brothers come in, they take it, they stay at the least smallest, a cheap, not an expensive hotel. And their mission is to go out and survey what's going on. Now you're investing $100 a month for these guys to go to, like, it's like going to the moon. You paying for $100 for them to go to the moon and tell you, is there cheese, or is there oil, and they're gonna come back and tell you, look, group, we done went all the way around and we found that there's great business opportunities, because they're gonna go, those 2 that you send, like you got 6, 7 guys, they're gonna give out. Okay, it's not $400, but maybe it's gonna be $200 each, or whatever the amount of money you guys need. You can all work out inside your group. You'll see. And then they stay for 2 months, and their job is to go out and make contacts with Kenyans that are doing business. And you tell them that's what you want to do, and you be humble. So the report comes back. What? The interview got 75,000 views. Oh, well, hell. Then we might be onto something here, because my videos is getting like 300 views. I don't even have a video that I don't think has 700 views, and that's 75,000. Anyway, brother, if you want to go again, I'm here at your disposal. Anytime you want to make a follow-up video. People really like what you're saying. Thank you. And I'm gonna keep going but I need that support. You see, Phil is telling you the truth because he was here. There's no reason for us to fail. We Black Americans, man. Do you know how many survival tactics we have? We just don't write books about it. You know what I mean? The few stories that we tell, like Harriet Tubman and all these people running around, railroad, bullet in the head. And, Soldier of the Truth, Fannie Lou Hamer. Do you know if you're Fannie Lou Hamer? Go listen to her story. President Johnson, when he saw her coming to the microphone to speak, he was like, switch all in there, switch the channel to me. And then he started talking about some anniversary that was some nonsense, so that all the networks would not listen to Fannie Lou Hamer's speech. And but we got that on YouTube. So you go Fannie Lou Hamer's speech, and she's gonna tell you how the police put her in the cell, how they beat her, how they did all shit, all that thing. Go, in Mississippi, that's what kind of thing. When you talk about being a house Negro, go listen to Fannie Lou Hamer. She was a house Negro in Mississippi. She know how to deal with white people in the South. And go listen to her story and then tell me you love America. You're joking. Yeah, we have too many stories like that. We are survivors. There's nowhere in the hell you can come over to modern Africa and not survive. Stop all that. What's gonna happen? You feel like at the end of the day you're gonna be lonely, hungry in the streets, and I'm telling you that ain't the case in Kenya. In modern Africa in general, the Brexit lady got a show called the Black Sick, and she's in Gambia. She's showing you all these beautiful areas and everything in Gambia. It's just another place that's gonna start growing. You know what I'm saying? So investigate them. But I always say, in my 21 experience in 6 African countries, Kenya by far is the better choice. Because yesterday I was in Ruiru, and I'm telling you, this country, there are people here that's going to tell you they're struggling. But that's just news. The 3 C's, the conflict, I forgot what they are. They news that's their job, to put out there that there's problem. The government loves it when people come on and say there's no jobs. You see, the government is not going to come on TV and start talking about the government got a big giant surplus of worth of money, because it's going to bring all kind of people going to start talking about, give me money, government, give me this, do this for me. The workers in the what's the name of the workers? The government workers in Kenya would go on strike for more money if the government says, I got big money. Now here's a country that done discovered oil and they selling oil. Do you think the government wants to start talking all about it? They know what's going to happen. They know if you go talk about not making big money, Kenya's making a lot of big money, then the government's going to you're going to have to, people going to go on strike, and it has happened. So they know better than to put that out there. It's better when the news come and say this, like, things are not as good as we thought, we're on, But the president had to come on TV and had to tell you people that, we're on time with the payment of the SGR, which is the biggest structural loan that the government has now, 700 and something billion. And he has to tell them we're not only on time with the loan, we're ahead of our payment schedule. So he was forced, because people were saying that they were going to steal the Mombasa port if they if they don't pay the SGR loan. And the Chinese government and the Kenyan government have both come out and said that's not true, that's bullshit. And then the media don't put that story out because it's not controversial, So they continue to put out the stories of the port's going to be taken over, and many of these young Kenyans get the wrong impression. They have negative ideas about their own country, and then they want to leave to America. All they got to do is sit down. A young person in Kenya sits down in front of a TV, he starts watching these music videos of you Negroes out there throwing money in the air like you just don't care, and then you believe that they believe that that's the way life is in America. And a young mind that decides I'm going to America at all costs, he will not be a benefit in his own country. He will not look for a job. He'll just be begging his parents to send him. He'll be doing the lotto, And it's a shame, because your country is running at a GDP of 6 and 7%, and America is at 1% and dying. I don't know how many kids I told you go America. You talk about going to America, but you're making a mistake. I don't even know how to explain it to them, but that's what they want. Huh? That's what they want. But you see, I see a Kenyan, because I've been here many years. I see a Kenyan young guy. He don't have a job. He just finished school. He's saying, "Oh, some is no job." Then you come back a year, 2 years later, they got a job. Then they come back 3 years later, they're driving. I say, man, what's going on? You got a family? Yeah, I got 3 kids. What? You know, I get this all the time. You know, some young guy I knew back in the day. I come back today, man. I got a family, wife, 2 kids. You know, one of my instructors here. I'm looking at him because he had been in a relationship and it didn't work. And then I saw him and he got this big tummy, and I'm like, man, did you get another wife? He said, man, I got a new wife, and we just had a baby girl 6 months ago. I'm like, damn, you know, kids don't talk about their family life like that. Africans in general, in the conversation, they don't really get in depth like that, or at least not to me. Hi, man, peace, brother Phil. Okay, yeah. If we knew better, we will stay in Africa and farm. Oh, and farm. Farming is a big business. You know, a lot of blacks in America come from the city. You ain't heard nothing about farming, and you think it's like you get a picture of bending over on your back and you know, picking fruit. And then, you know, because America has such terrible ass weather, you know, you see like one day the crops fail and you lose your whole harvest. We heard those kind of stories. But in Africa, you don't really have that kind of problem. Weather is good all year round. Another thing, weather is big business all around the world. But now there are Kenyans who are in the business of bad weather. So they need to let no rain come. Then they go to the media and they tell the media the whole section of the country is in drought. You see? And so therefore now that makes the government go into action and pay money to certain groups, and they keep that money. And it's really not a drought. You know? But the news love it because it's a controversial story. People are going to see, oh, people are dying and starving. You know, they take a picture of some carcasses of cows and tell you that it's a drought. And I'm telling you, it's been raining more than ever before in Kenya. I came from Mombasa after it was sunny as hell in Mombasa, but once you got out of Mombasa, it rained all the way up to Nairobi. And I was like, you know, you're still going to find people saying that there's drought in Eastern Kenya, someplace you never heard of before. And people make money off of that. But now here you are, Black American, you watching this Kenyan news because you done thought you were smart that you're going to watch Kenyan news and get the real story. That's a lie. Then you see this story about the drought, and then there you go. Ooh, can't go to Africa, can't go to that country because people are going to be starving. I can't get into farming because, you know, but this nonsense. Farming is big business. The Chinese just did a $60 billion deal with Kenya tea. $60 billion to send specialty tea over to China. $60 billion is nothing to China. They're like, here you go. But that shit is like the 5th largest business deal for Kenyans. So don't tell me that you don't want to work with the Chinese. You don't hear the story. They don't put that on the news. The news don't cover that. They want to cover that the Chinese is stealing African women and taking them to China and putting them enslaved. That's what that will sell some papers. There's no dude on YouTube pulling disinformation about Africa. Yeah, that guy talking about he can't come to Africa because he don't have no military. We don't have no military. He's so stupid. You know? And love to debate him. Somebody get me that guy. Well, I listen to him and I'm like, you know, that doesn't make no sense. It don't make no sense. But he's a house Negro. What do you expect a house Negro to say? He got to put Africa down. The more Africa rises, the more he got to put. Now, how you gonna talk about you gotta have a country with a military, like they're gonna be World War III if your black ass come over to Africa? America gonna come and shoot up the place. He living in delusion. Ain't nobody gonna bomb up Africa. This is silly. Now they went to Libya and they got in and beat and blew up Gaddafi's hometown. You don't know the whole story. And the Libyans retaliated, but they don't put that in the news. One day you ask me, I'm gonna tell you what happened. What really happened. So when Hillary Clinton came in, we found him, he died. You guys, they still suffering behind the issue of killing Gaddafi. The war is still continuing. That oil is going to change hands and they're going to lose out. When America starts to fall, there's going to be some Libyans stepping on their neck as well. If we knew better, okay. There's yeah. The reason I asked about the heavy equipment in your last feed is because the equipment is being auctioned off. Now you see, you have knowledge. Don't just share it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Take it to the next step. Take in action. You know, you're gonna go here, find some Kenyans that are in construction, and then send them an email. I got some equipment that's here. They don't know. You'd be shocked how much information is not being put out there. You know, and America trying to play catch up with China, which you're never gonna be able to do. So you might get that thing shipped with no cost. So yeah, look into that. And building in what? The dirt cheap and building in okay. The building equipment, they already, I'm sure people already got that covered. You know, as far as things are concerned. But if we, because the population is growing by, it's crazy here. It's crazy. You know, you can go to a place and be one house, then next week you go back, it's like 10 houses. So equipment is needed. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? But that becomes like, do you use manpower or do you use machinery to take over the manpower? Now there's a big debate and big fight in that. A lot of these people are doing construction, they're building it, and then they hire like 20, 30 guys to come in from the community. That's their job. And I like that model because everybody's working. I see when I see these guys holding these cement bags, I'm like, that's one less guy that's going to jump on my neck and take my phone. You know what I'm saying? So everybody just wants to work, you know, and farming, you know, specialized farming equipment will reduce that. They had the same issue with tea in Kenya. They had a machine that did pick tea faster than the humans could pick tea, and so that would put a lot of Kenyans out of work using the machine. I haven't followed up on that story if they're using that machine, but definitely manual labor is good. Some things we shouldn't just mechanize. I'm in that agreement in that area. Farming is the future. Yeah, I didn't want to get off that subject. So farming is big business. It's really big business, and it's not like what you think. If you got big money to invest, think about investing in farming first as viable. Don't come with cityfied ideas. You can, I mean, like this thing, growing tomatoes without soil. I'm gonna put this out there for you people. Because tomatoes is every day. Every day they cook all around the country. You can grow tomatoes without soil. You can do that. Come here, put that technology into play with like $30,000 US dollars. You can create that thing, and then you could be selling tomatoes at half price. Everybody buy your tomatoes, bro. Everybody buy your tomatoes. Set up your own distribution. Start off small, and then innovate. Those great things. And you got to innovate in the marketing area too. But you should beware that Kenyans is sharp. They gonna find out what you're doing, and then they're gonna replicate it. So you gotta be ready for that. Don't be overpricing your tomatoes because you got American standards. Because somebody just gonna undercut your price. That's one of the lessons I learned. That's a valuable lesson. Don't be coming in talking about I'm gonna sell American-made hamburgers and you're selling the burgers at $500. Ain't nobody gonna buy them hamburgers, bro. They're gonna be a brother down the road with a bucket and selling them hamburgers at $200 shillings. And then you get mad at them. Then you get mad at Africa, like what? You shouldn't. Evalyne, the queen of the chat line, is in the house. Yes, heavy equipment always needed. Yeah, but I'm saying it's not like everybody can invest in that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? You can, just as easy as you do invest in equipment, you can come here and get you a team of workers and then go around and sell those workers to people that are building. And you can say that it could be cheaper. And they might go for it. So that's, that's another idea. When you have a team of workers and you keep them busy, you just go around making contracts for them to put to cement this building. Because many Kenyan entrepreneurs and business people and real estate people are using manual labor. They just believe in that. They don't believe in the equipment. And some of these buildings where they're putting up these buildings, it's hard for that equipment to get to that building. So that's this, like a lot of these guys are older businessmen. They've been building apartments for decades, and they always trust manual labor. They're going to look for manual labor. Now they go and open up they want to create a building somewhere that's far. They've never been there before, but they see the area is ripe. They need people to build that building. You know what I mean? They need those workers to do the cement, and they need like 20 guys to do that if it's going to be like 3 or 4 stories. So you have a contracted team. You can go to him and make a deal. Then you just got to monitor your people to make sure that they don't mess up that they're on work on time, and that they're working efficiently. This is what I'm saying. Take advantage of human resource, human labor. Okay, God damn it. Okay, it's only 35 minutes. I'm going to cut this. I'm not going to. I told you I was going to be short here. African born, that's so true. When all goes south, we'll need food. Please, yes. Now another thing, you see, that's why I like the chat line, because it really sparks my mind. I have so much information, but then I can't think of everything at one time. But when I read something on the chat line, it taps my brain. So don't be afraid to put some information in the chat line. Now that I'm talking, I forgot my point. Wait, let me read that line again, then I can remember what I was saying. Where is it? Now you see, I shouldn't talk at the same time. And that thing went. The reason I asked was, okay, let me find that message. That is true when one goes. Okay, yeah, when one goes south, the food. Okay, you're in America, right? And you're thinking about moving to Africa, right? But you've been in America all your life, right? And you got material things. You got like a closet full of stuff that you have, that you bought, that you paid that money for. You just can't just let it go. You know what I'm saying? But now if you think about you're gonna move to Africa, none of that stuff is gonna you ain't gonna need none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if America goes into recession, none of that stuff is gonna sell, because people ain't gonna have money to buy. It's the same thing with the real estate. Don't let them people lie to you about real estate. When the recession hit, real estate is not going to sell. Nobody's gonna be buying houses like that. So you joking. Don't be like, my whole life is in real estate, because the first thing that's gonna choke out is the real estate market. And when it's like you're gonna be trying to sell houses and nobody wants to sell. I mean, nobody wants to buy. Everybody want to sell. Yeah, maybe a lot of people want to sell, but you can see the foreclosure market and see where that's what's gonna happen. So I'm saying to you, you got a lot of money inside those things. You get bowling ball, golf shoes, things you don't bought. It's ridiculous. Put that stuff on eBay or wherever and sell it off at a price you can get the money now. Because if you're really serious about moving to Africa, you ain't gonna need that stuff. You got extra mattress. Some of you guys got storage bins. I had a storage bin. Goddamn. And you can storing stuff that you don't ever use. Doesn't make any sense. You just caught up in the trap in the capitalistic system. The advertisement got you buying stuff and you use it once or twice. Some of you are using your material things just to show people like you got money. Show up. I don't blame. You were raised like that. That's not in Africa. That's the African way. People don't look at you based on how much money you have, or what they do. But I mean, they look at you for the person you are. First thing they want to know: do you got a wife? You got kids? That points you right there. And another thing, people are looking at me and talking. Go onto my Facebook channel. Go to my friends and I don't mind messaging them. Ask them, how is Amon Ra really? Let them tell you. Okay, you don't get some people that are jealous of me. They're gonna maybe talk a little shit, but ain't nobody gonna tell you he's a crook, he's a criminal, he's gonna take your money. It's not like, what I'm saying. I built a reputation. I was serious about that from this day one. I represent all Black Americans who have not come to Kenya. So many Kenyans, they only know, the only African American they know is me. And so they judge you based on what I do with them. So I can't be sitting around being criminal. Look at the Nigerians. They go, you got a bad reputation. They got bad reputation because they come and they scam people. So if I'm a Nigerian, I want to make a business deal with you. trigger. You're already like that. So I'm saying, in my accomplishments, when somebody said another Black American is coming, hey, you're gonna get some good opportunities. And that when you come here, you must be responsible like that as an African American. Don't come here. They already know we don't have money. That's the reputation. If somebody say African American, he don't have no money. You see? Now, he can have sex like hell. He can be great, but he ain't got no money. You go to the club and you sit down with a chick and she said, "How are you? Where are you from?" "I'm from America." Oh, that's great. Oh, you see? And then you start talking about let buy you a drink, and you don't have enough money for one drink, or you feel that you only want to buy her one drink. And then she sees all that, and then they go around and tell their girlfriends that Black Americans, they don't have money. That's the way. So don't come here trying to be like showing out, because they take your money and they're still gonna have that same mentality, because you ain't gonna come to the bar every day. So anyway, I just want to come and rant on there today. And once the land is excavated, there's robotics that can build homes. Robotics. I don't think that's going to be in Kenya anytime soon. It's being implemented in Colombia. Well, yeah, they talk about that all the time. But like I said, many of these people that are building large apartments, they have a way that they have been using for a long time, and that's human resource. Don't you know that this is Africa? Here is a rich man. He's in his 50s, 60s. He got a big tummy. He's a millionaire times over, and he invests in building apartment buildings. He's in real estate. Don't you know that from the architect down to the person that is putting the cement foundation is his people? Many of them, some of them are family members, cousins, far cousins. The man is rich. He got a large family. They all depend on him. He got to pay school fees for cousins. And he does that because that's the life. You know what I'm saying? He's got importance. Yesterday, Kenya, and a guy was telling me, his family had to pay 10,000 shillings each to put one guy through school in the family. And that's the way life is here. You see? So robotics and all that stuff, he ain't gonna change. He's not gonna change it. What he gonna do with all them people that work for him? There are people that work for him that when he say I'm building an apartment building in this county, and then next month I'm building another apartment in this county. This guy that worked for him in this county, his wife is living there. He gonna travel and live near where that building is being built, and make money and send it back home to his wife. Wife pays food and put the kids through school. He's doing his job. You see? So that's the life here. If you have to understand how life is here, it's not like in America. Okay, in America, you can be with you with your Black woman, you with your Black man, you going to work and get your money, he going to work, and then you come together, and then you guys argue and fight over the little money because material things are there that you want. So I can have a wife in America, and she won't work. She just take care of the kids. But in Kenya, no, it'd be the opposite. My woman got to work. You know what I'm saying? Make it much easier for me. I didn't want to make this a long video, but Ruby Williams, why do people believe that they have to control everybody else's food? It's not controlling the food, honey. It's business. Okay, somebody got to plant them seeds and pick them roots. So I don't know how you're looking at it, but it's not like that. Agribusiness is big business in Kenya. And in America also, but they monopolized that long time ago. Even the Chinese are there in America growing food, passing on to Americans. So I'm saying if you got money in Kenya and you want to invest, then that should be a high possibility. You should look at, even though you never dealt with farming before, we have a stigma in our minds that believe like farming is poor for poor people, and nothing can be further than the truth. A lot of Kenyans, that was a while back, a lot of Kenyans that came to the city looking for jobs, they couldn't find jobs, they went back home to their up country, and then they started farming land, and then they became rich, a millionaire. Peace, brother. Sun Temple, thank you. For this information. Great. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to just be here on a channel, and I'm asking you to support the channel, and then I'm not giving you nothing in return but hearsay and the latest story about what they did to us. You know what I'm saying? Which you could go on Google and find for yourself. It's like that. And okay, the last thing I'm gonna be talking about here, working with manual labor is technology. I don't understand that. But the last thing I want to say here before I get off this line is that this, see, Ruby that said this and may confuse me from what I was going to say. Working with manual labor is technology. Yeah, well, yeah, okay, now I get what you're saying. Now I get what you're saying, but now I lost my last point. Anyway, I'm gonna get off this line before it gets to be an hour. We had Phil Scott in the house. I appreciate that, brother. He told me that our video had 75,000 views. I have seen some of his people coming into our group. I really appreciate that, of course. And YouTube search 3D printed home can be constructed for under $4,000. Yeah, that was what I wanted to talk about somehow. Oh yeah, that's the news. Okay, the news. And in some respect, Google. But I won't say Google. Media news. We all watch that, and we all think many of blacks watch the news. I mean, more and more of you are smart. You're cutting that shit off completely. Get off of the news. Every day you come home and you're brainwashing yourself, and it's really taking you into a whole nother atmosphere you don't want to really be in. And it really is not going to help you make that move to Africa. Every day you got to figure out what's going on. The news is not telling you what's going on. They're lying to you, telling you what they want you to know, and keeping what they don't want you to know from you. It's very dangerous. I don't watch the news. So I was somewhere walking yesterday, and somebody had a newspaper, they're working with a newspaper, and the headline says something about buried alive. You know, somebody was buried alive, you know. And, you know, I like, ooh, that's a good headline. I want to know who that was that got buried alive. Did they die in the bed? You know, but that's useless information that don't help me. It drives my brain going in another direction. Major headlines sell, whether it's true information or fake news. As long as it sells, as long as they pull your attention, as long as they keep you remaining in America, they're going to print it. So I want you guys to think about that. And that's my rant for the day. And you know, you can go up here on Google, and when you go on Google and you start searching for things, don't you know that they are already smarter than you? Don't you know if you go out and you search farming in Africa, then they can put in hard websites and news stories about negative things about farming in Africa, and then there you are, you're stuck in America because you believe that that's all. The first thing you saw was something negative, or something that said some people succeed and others and most people fail, and these kind of things. And you're sitting in your armchair saying, "Okay, now I know." From your chair, you got to get out. You got to spend money. You got to get out of that mindset. You got to come here and see for yourself, and that's when you're gonna realize, God damn it, I should slap her off the concrete. Who's the news anchor? I don't even know the news anchors of the day now. Damn. But you know, you want to slap that guy because he's been lied to you. He's been wasting your time talking about today in the news. 50 people were locked out of their apartment building, and then the landlord caught it on fire. Oh, witnesses say ABC happened, and then they go, okay, madam, you were there. What happened? Oh, I was there. The guy, he had a match. He lit the house on fire. Oh, you don't know this woman. You don't know who she is, and you don't know if it's true or not true. The news can legally lie to you. It's dangerous because they're going to always invest in controversy. Those the 3 C's. I forgot what they are. Somebody help me out. And whether it's true or not true. Meanwhile, here you are watching it, and your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between truth and fake. So it's just soaking it all in. So instead of saying that, what do you think about moving to Africa? Instead of saying it's the only solution. My God, if we stay here, either my generation or my kids' generation is going to suffer. And Africa is rising. We should be, that's my game plan. I got an African game. I'm getting instead of saying all that, which is the right thing to say, you're here talking about, well, I don't know. I read somewhere that the world, the Africans, Chinese is taking over. That's my Dr. Mumbi impression. She always does that kind of thing. But I'm saying, at the end of the day, what it does is it makes you remain in that goddamn shithole country, America. I'm here. I'm explaining to you that you guys are making a mistake. I was out last night. Just said I got to get another phone. I mean, maybe I'll use this money that Phil sent and buy a new phone. And this is growth everywhere, opportunities everywhere. The beautiful thing about modern Africa is that there are so many Africans that are not educated economically either. And they begging for you foreigners to come and help them, especially in South Africa. I was in South Africa. I was working at 3 different schools and I didn't even try. I had jobs all over the place. Whether I'm Black American or an American, they didn't look at me like I got money. They look at me like I got the knowledge that they need, just coming out of apartheid. So, most of the people that come here to make the move out, they're smart and intelligent. Chris Hamilton, you sparked me to make this show. Brother, I'm in the company I work for uses 454 big block. Oh, 454 big block Chevy engine. I was gonna say, I had an Oldsmobile 455, bro. I had an Oldsmobile 442. That was my car. I used to break it down. I boarded 30 over. If you're a machine guy like me, I boarded 30 over, and then damn, it didn't really run right after that. But I had I had all the electronic ignition. I put all in. I did really a lot of experiments with my car. You come here, man. We can do some. We can make some race cars. We can do something with engines in Kenya, man. You should come. Anyway, let me finish this sentence. Big black engine on natural gas. Okay. Producing domestic hot water. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What you waiting for? It's wide open here. You feel like you see the news and then you don't see nothing else about it because the Kenyans can't market their shit. That's problem number one. Problem number two is there are people that have anti-interest that will come at you, and you got to be ready for them. But if you got a crew behind you, solid crew in Kenya, hey, when somebody come and try to do something to you, your partners will be like, I got this. Don't worry about him. I get that all the time from my people. Don't worry about that person. I'm gonna take care of him. And then that person disappears, not literally. For real, the news will distract. Yes, Dark Spirit, it will distract you. Don't use the education. Don't be educated by Google. Don't let the news be your education. Chris Hamilton, I'm serious, bro. Don't be waiting no 5 years to come here. We're gonna do business. 454 Hemi. 454 Chevy block. I'm telling you. I had a Rochester 4-barrel carburetor. Man, shoot. We can have a great thing. Sun Temple, great show, brother. I always like the African Diaspora channel. Yeah, me too. I like Phil's channel. Phil is always giving us the insight of what they're doing to us, and it should motivate. But now you see Phil is always like Africa, and I love that. I remember when Phil was like, I ain't going to go to no Africa. They're going to eat me, But he beautiful 360, and we need brothers like that because he came here and he saw for himself. And that's what you guys got to seriously think about rather than sit in a country that's telling you that the next generation going to be poorer than you. So that means you got a kid in school, guess what happens to him when he gets out of school? He's going to be sitting up under your arm. I ain't no jobs, Mom. I'm hungry. And you got to go to work and come home and that teenager is sitting on the couch in his underwear. You want to slap him. Ain't no jobs, mom. You know, and then you get him, you throw him out the house. Then what happens? He goes out and he gets into drugs, gets into gangs, get into wrong behaviors, meet the wrong people because they're all the way out there. Or your son could go out and then meet somebody that's halfway homeless, and then decide he want to be homeless. You know, he gets scared, and then he says, "Well, let me just be homeless, and I don't have to worry about being homeless." That's how kind of mentality that our people are into now. CHP systems. What's CHP? I don't know that. Unless you're talking about the California Highway Patrol. I don't know that. I always wonder how to come over there to teach English. Then, English, teaching English. Uh, English is taught in schools as a part of the curriculum. So from first grade, kindergarten, all the way up to the Form 4, every year students have to write in English, and so they get that in school automatically. So English is really not a problem here. It's just mandatory to find a job teaching English. You won't really find that work beneficial. Sorry, been a teacher for years now. A teacher, okay, you good. You got some sort of credentials? Come here. There's so many thousands of private schools in Kenya that you can work with. You know what I mean? You get one of these expensive private schools, they want to say one of our teachers is from America. You know what I'm saying? That's clout for them, the school owner. One of my schools, meet Mr. Johnson. He's our math teacher, and he's from America. Whoa. Kenyans are like, whoa. You see? Because, yeah, I'm in the education. Hey, education is big business. Money. My majority of mine is coming from education, digital education, and combined heat and power system. You see, bro, you got all that knowledge, man. You need to come here. I'm telling you, I will work with you when you start talking about cars. I started off working with cars, getting down, breaking engines down. I used to do tune-ups for all my family's cars. Those days when engines were simple, and like I said, I used to race cars. Had a race car, got like 1,000 traffic tickets, and I was a crazy wild guy when I was young. But when I got in the police department, they looked at my traffic record. They said, "Oh, you got to go a year without a traffic ticket before you can become a policeman." So I was like, "Oh!" And so I was driving there for a whole year, you see. And imagine, I used to be scared. That people used to hate me on my block because I used to burn rubber, and the parents used to come outside and get mad at me. And anyway, I was trying to impress the girls, and then you get girls in the race cars, they don't like that speed and horsepower. But anyway, things we did when we were young. They not disappearing; they are running away from the new slavery in America. I would love that to be the case. That we are seeing the light in America and running and leaving that country. Not because I have a personal beef with America, which everybody does. Most black people have a personal beef somehow with America. I'm not the only one. It's just that I happen to come to Africa and realize, damn, nobody's talking about how this is working, And so I said, okay, let me build a channel and feel the same. People are seeing that as an interest. What about automotive? Vocational school, have 25 years with Audi and Ford. Audi and Ford are not in Africa. General Motors is here under the guise of Isuzu. And Isuzu, but engine is an engine. And there's so many Matatus and things like that. But if we could come here and we can utilize the engines using some sort of a way they can work that engine to make money, it can be possible. We can even start making our own cars. You never know. One of the things that somebody has made here is a Kenyan truck, and I don't know what happens to them. They make them, they try to do a little bit of advertising, and then people don't buy them. They still want to go with Toyota, and then hold the market down, man. I don't know what they do. If they buy them off or what, but the big thing would be come here, make a good product, and then maybe sell it off to another company. People do that. You know what I mean? I'm always wondering, what is my CC Gate program worth? Somebody came to me and said, I'm here's 40 million shillings, we want to take over your program. Wow, would I take it? I wonder. You know what I mean? So this is this is a website for those people that want to be interested in digital revision. If you're going to be coming to Africa and you got young kids, you can sign them up for this program, and they can be taking the actual lessons. I mean, not lessons, but actual quizzes that the students here do. They can learn the curriculum. So all it does is give them the actual exam questions like that, and then they can retake them many times, and they be prepared for the exams. And it also allows you to monitor their studying habits, but it's based on the Kenya curriculum, so you have to understand that that's what they're going to get, even if Swahili is there. The Black people are leaving the U.S. Expand your YouTube search. There's thousands of Black expat videos on YouTube. Phil Scott did one with Black last year. Okay, you're right. I should expand, but at the same time, I want to do that. You guys got to help support the channel. This is how we do it. Go to worldremit.com like Phil Scott just did, and this is the phone number, and this is the name, and support the channel. The money is going to leave America and come directly into Africa. It's like you're investing your money in something that's in Africa. So be one of the first ones to do that, and that you're on your way. And I'm going to take care of you. We're going to keep on pushing this thing. Okay, now you're asking me questions and I want to go. Texting back up. What about export cars to your country? Kenya is the #1 leader in export vehicles, more than Nigeria, more than any other African country. I have read this, and I have witnesses, because they got used car dealers are everywhere here. People want to drive. Kenya's got money. So when they tell you there's no money in Kenya, who buying all these cars? You know what I'm saying? And traffic is horrendous in the city. Even in Ruru yesterday, off the super highway, I was seeing cars coming off the off ramp. They backed up, on a Sunday night. God damn! I'm like, man, this place, people, cars is selling, especially in Kenya. Export trucks is better. Exporting trucks, they gotta look at the monopoly. Some people got monopolies on that. You know what I mean? Some people got truck companies in Europe. And then when the trucks get too old, then that's when they make money by selling them in an African country. So you got to look at those kind of things in the market. Any suggestions on how to get hooked up into reputable private schools over there to teach? Kenya on the private school issue, it's not like in America. You don't have to. People are hiring teachers they just look at your certificate and then they say okay. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like America. Don't think like you got to come here, you got to be certified, you got to have your vaccination shots, no, it's not like that. You just go around and go to schools and say, I want to look at your program because I'm interested about looking for how I can get involved. And then they'll be happy to take you around because you're American. Take that benefit. It's oppressing us in America, but if you come into Africa, it's a benefit for you. Then they take you around and talk to you. And then, you get understanding and you make friends, make contacts. And then you just slide in. Next thing you know, come January, you got a school, If you got money saved up, come work for nothing, get the educational experience, and then, boom, start telling them I want money. Yeah, but private school is big business. You know what I'm saying? They've been hurt because to tell you the truth, they've been hurt because the government has used free primary education as one of its promises to the people, and they've been delivered on that free primary education. So a lot of people that was putting their kid in private schools is now putting them into the public school system, and then the public school system is giving kids brand new books. So here you are, got a poor kid, you come to school, the kid got new books, so why pay? Okay, you still got to pay it secretly. Let me tell you. Parents know, even if you put your kid in public school, it ain't free, 100% free. Okay, but that's a different story. But basically, it's free. And even in my school, they remodeled the lower primary section, brand new with fans on, electric fans and sliding glass windows. They put paintings of Dr. Duck and the people on the walls. They really made it. They did it up. and I suspect that. But the problem is, it got too many kids. That's the problem with public school. Classrooms are just overcrowded. You know, they don't have enough classrooms. So the government got to come up and start building more classrooms. But that's brought back because of the IMF. The IMF really sucked a lot of schools dry in the World Bank, and then there was no money to build new classrooms. So now you have this issue of overcrowding, and it's a shame. But anyway, this is Amara saying I'm gonna get off here today. I'm gonna try to do an interview video. We're overdue on those, but until the next time we meet, please support the channel. I didn't have any of my regular Hamilton. Well, I don't know, brother. Dark Spear, I know you. I'm gonna make you a mediator, moderator. Shoot. Let me try this before I get off of here. Google Western African International Schools. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing by saying making you a moderator without your permission. I don't know how that goes, but it really helps out with the channel. International schools are run mostly by Europeans when they say international school, and they really cater for white people and foreigners that have their kids in Africa, and they don't want to put their kids in African school. That's not where the big money is at. Although they charge a lot of money in it, but you're really struggling to get there. But if you go into normal, regular African Kenyan schools, and you can get many of them, there you can make a lot of money, and you can have a lot of fun doing business and meet a lot of new contacts. And then one day somebody come up to you, you know, bro, I'm doing this, and then you have an unstable line. Wow. So most of the trucks are right-hand drive. It's different than in America, so you can't really get those trucks to be sold here. But there are big companies, clearing and forwarding companies, that are coming up because of the new SGR high-speed railway. Used to take like 4 or 5 days for your container to go from the port of Mombasa to Nairobi. Now it only takes like 6 hours, and then they're building the railway all the way up into Uganda. So when it's all done, it's going to be a lot more containers on the road, and a lot more business being made. The problem with Africa is that the infrastructure was not, the economy is growing, but the infrastructure was not being able to support all that growth. Trucks were killing people on the road, you know, having all kind of accidents on the 1-2 lane highway, and there's too many trucks in the road. And then, but the SGR has now relieved that. So the trucking business is there. But it's not like you can just walk in and make big money. You have to stop that mentality. Americans, we have that mentality. You got to come in, find your niche, start slow, and then build yourself up over time. You know, you got experience, and it'll be very helpful. But still, there's a lot of things about the African trucking businesses that you don't know, and you need to get a partner, somebody that knows it, to educate you, so that you can get the understanding of how the game works, and then you can get in there. You know, if you got some secret knowledge or some knowledge that you don't really, that's really valuable, you can utilize it here if you see if it works or not. If it works, boom, you're making big money. What about mobile truck service companies? You have to remember that when you talk about any kind of business, you have to think about Kenyans can replicate your business, and you have to put that into perspective. Mobile truck, I don't know what you mean by mobile truck. Is there a truck that's stationary? I don't know, but you gotta explain that to me. But as far as getting creative ideas, you're Black Americans, you guys are survivors. America wouldn't have made it without us. And if we take this expertise and bring it into Africa, without the racism, we got a great chance. You know what I'm saying? It is very possible. Don't let the news fool you. Don't let the naysayers. Don't let the American government fill your mind with a lot of fake news articles. Just come. Just make the trip. We're bringing a group in April 2020. We think we're gonna get the plane fare is going to be around $700. The cutoff date is December 18th. I'm gonna talk about that more. Right now, we had a big meeting about that on yesterday Saturday, and with Kenyan stakeholders, and they decided they wanted to wait and have another meeting. So we're working on that. Repair your truck if it broke down on the road. Oh, these trucks don't be breaking down. I don't know if they'll be breaking down or not. But when I'm going from Mombasa to Nairobi, you can't. There's like 20 different small towns. In every small town, there's like dozens of truck stops where the truckers go, and Kenyan mechanics are there. At 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, you go there, you sleep, you park the truck, go sleep or whatever, and then they guys will work on your truck right there. So you got to work yourself into that program. I don't think there's a lot of money there because I've seen the repair trucks and they're all broken down, dingy looking. You know, they're like ready to break down themselves. But I'm no expert in that field. You got to come here and see for yourself. Do that fact finding mission. Thanks, brother, and thanks for the videos. You're welcome. Chris, service calls for broken down trucks on highways. Call your truck, get service. It's not like that. These guys, however you make calls, the mechanic, no, it's there. So when it's like one of these 20 towns, you got a problem with your truck and you pull over in the town, you either you know him already or one of the other truck drivers know who he is. So you just jump out your truck, man. Well, I need a mechanic. Okay, here's the guy, and then that guy works on it like that.